Thank you, Melanie. Good morning. It's my honor and pleasure to present the C3E 2016 Advocacy Award to Rebecca Pearl Martinez. It's also fitting that the Advocacy Award be the first award to be given this morning. First of all, for the first time at Stanford. Sorry. And also timed with the Clean Energy Mysterial, where countries are getting together to, in concrete steps, actually implement what Rebecca is such a strong advocate for. So first of all, to serve as an effective advocate and leader, one has to link passion with data, measurement, facts, and also the capacity to build consensus. And those are the qualities that Rebecca embodies as she dedicates her career to linking women's advancement and the expansion of clean energy. We all understand in this room the complexity of transitioning to the clean energy economy, and Rebecca has made the important linkage to women's advancement at both a corporate and a societal level. Her advocacy is both national and global in scope, and she introduced the topic of gender and climate change on the global policy stage through her work at the United Nations Development Program, combining both ideas and training and identifying the opportunities to link clean energy and opportunity for women's participation. It's important when one thinks of these awards that one wants to know how our colleagues are thinking about us. And the words that have been used for Rebecca are passionate and visionary, collaborative and effective, and as mentoring and promoting diversity. Passion and victory, those are very important qualities for an advocate as she influences others and works creatively on climate change, the greatest challenge of our time. Collaborative and effective. And this is a quote. She has been called generous with colleagues without expecting something in return, and she builds an approach supported by a group rather than individuals. And that's very important. And her work really gives voice as she consults and she convenes energy experts and academics. And to me, mentoring and promoting diversity. Rebecca continues to support young women with her warm personality and serves as an advisor, and this is another quote, with a no-nonsense approach. And for me, I have to add this. She walks the walk on diversity issues, willing to give voice when others, quote unquote, don't see a problem. And I think that those of us in the room know when people just don't see a problem. And I know that Rebecca is ahead of the mainstream, and that is also a very important quality of an advocate. So this morning, I'm filled with pride and joy to present to Rebecca Pearl Martinez an award on behalf of the Sisterhood of C3E and two men, we can't forget our two men, who have recognized her strong achievements. On a personal level, I know Rebecca well as she launches a renewable equity project at Tufts, and that she embodies the extraordinary qualities as she dedicates her professional career to future generations. So congratulations, Rebecca.
Over here. Thank you, Bobby. Bobby Kate Skarnick championed this project from the beginning, and I've personally experienced firsthand that she is a model for anyone who wants to know how to support women in the energy industry. This award would not have been possible without the amazing C3E ambassadors, many of whom have supported me on this journey. Please join me in applauding all of the C3E ambassadors and DOE, MIT, and Stanford for their amazing commitment. I also want to thank Kristen Graff, the indomitable Kristen Graff, who's up on the stage here, for nominating me, and the wonderful group of women, the gaggle of women at the Center for International and Environment and Resource Policy at the Fletcher School at Tufts University, who have been very supportive about this project. And my family, back here in the corner. They're here today. My 5-year-old daughter, my 6-month-old baby boy who is wearing a onesie that says, "This is what a feminist looks like," and my husband, Justin. Plus my whole family is watching from the East Coast. I wanted to have my children here today, and when I asked my daughter if she wanted to go to California, she jumped up and down and said, "Tacos! Redwood Forest! That zoo that has the river otters," right? She had her own ideas. But I wanted my kids here today because they remind me that there is both great hope and great urgency in the work that I do. And that's why this award is so significant to me. Many years from now, when I'm no longer on the planet, and my daughter and son and their children and their grandchildren are here, they will have inherited a world that we created. This is a very exciting time. I am so hopeful that we are finally making a transition to clean energy technologies and getting serious about climate change. But this award signals to me that the energy industry is starting to get serious about gender diversity. I've spent my career advocating for the inclusion of women in climate and environmental policy. It was comparatively easy to convince governments and multilateral institutions that women should play a leading role in their communities in the face of climate change impacts. But few people accepted the idea that women had a role to play in slowing climate change. I searched for global data and research on women's participation in the clean energy sector and climate change mitigation, and I found a gaping hole. Women are narrowly characterized in many places as victims of natural disasters or dirty cook stoves in developing countries, and they are virtually invisible in the clean energy workforce. That's when I decided to jump ship from the international policy world and devote myself to building a different picture of women's potential leadership in clean energy. So yes, I'm a bit of a strange bird among the awardees. I'm not up on this stage as a woman who has designed the newest clean energy technology. I wish I was. I'm up here because I want more women up here. I want the energy industry to fix its gender gap. I want to start seeing a more equal representation of women and men in companies and on those manels at energy conferences. Thank you for that. I love that. I know we all want this, but to be perfectly honest, my end goal is not gender equality itself. I believe that if we bring all hands on deck, we will accelerate the clean energy transition and put the brakes on climate change. The head of the global climate change negotiations has likened the transition to renewable energy technologies to the greatest overhaul of our planet's economic order since the Industrial Revolution. Whose voices do we want reflected in decisions about our economic and energy future? Diversity and inclusion needs to be the engine of that decision-making. Women, and women of color in particular, are not well represented, from solar panel installers to energy ministers. If we stick to the status quo, low-income communities will be locked out of the green economy, and they will certainly not be able to afford solar panels, even in this country. At the board level, only about 16% of board members in the world's 200 largest utilities are women, and unless the pace of change speeds up, it would take 72 years to reach 40% women on boards. So our work in the Renewable Equity Project is driven by the idea that women's advancement in the clean energy workforce is the next climate-smart innovation. We know that clean energy companies face a shortage of skilled workers, and there's no doubt that women play a transformative role in the economy. Other sectors have learned that if they diversify their workforce, they can boost the economy of entire countries. In our project, we seek to create information and inspire the energy industry to build a workforce that is more representative of the world outside its doors. We need all of your help in this room and those watching online. We continue to seek out champions and funding and build collaborations to elevate this issue here in the US and globally. So I'd like to invite you to reach out to us. You can Google Renewable Equity Project if you'd like. You'll find a new video on our webpage and an email address to get in touch with us. And I also have, grab a postcard at table 3, please do. So I'm so grateful for this tremendous honor, and through it, the validation of our vision and the urgency of our work. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. That was absolutely wonderful. And the decisions that the ambassadors made on award winners they're always very difficult, and there were very good candidates. But I think you demonstrated why, in the end, you won that award. I would also note that mid-career women look younger all the time to me. Whoa. Any rate, next, Connie Lau. She is an ambassador as well. She's the president and CEO of Hawaiian Electric Industries, and she is going to present the C3E Award for Entrepreneurship. So, thank you.
It gives me great pleasure and honor to present C3E's 2016 Entrepreneurship Award to Maria Kingery. You know, you heard from Ala's panel how important it is to have entrepreneurs and the introduction of new technologies and ideas into moving clean energy forward. For us in Hawaii, where we're headed towards a 100% renewable goal, we're betting on those entrepreneurs, and we're betting on technology. Maria co-founded Southern Energy Management with her husband Bob in 2001, and she serves as its Chief Visionary Officer today. But what distinguishes Maria as an entrepreneur, and what really impressed our C3E ambassadors, is that she not only built a successful company, but she helped pioneer the residential energy efficiency and solar industries in North Carolina and beyond. And for those of you who have followed clean energy for a while, North Carolina, not every state is like California and Hawaii. And sometimes you have to work a lot harder to get those ideas through. Consider that North Carolina's renewable portfolio standard was not enacted until 2008. And in the 7 years before that, Southern Energy Management was installing hundreds of solar systems, both rooftop, and Maria took them into utility scale as well, and working with more than 300 home builders and developers to verify now over 25,000 homes to be energy efficient, and gaining recognition as an Energy Star Partner of the Year. In 2009, Maria led Southern Energy Management to become a certified B Corporation, earning Best for the World in 2012 and 2013, and ranking among the most impactful certified B corporations worldwide. But Maria was still not done. And as you heard from Deputy Secretary Liz Sherwood-Randall, how important it is to mentor, Maria earlier this year founded Kingery & Company to mentor other entrepreneurs, especially those in clean tech, to excel and expand their impact more quickly and efficiently. And now, please help me welcome and congratulate Maria Kingery, our 2016 C3E Entrepreneur.
So thank you, Connie, and thank you to the C3E community. I am so humbled to be recognized with this award today. And those who know me know I tend to get a little emotional, so I could do that, and I ask you to forgive me for that. I want to start by acknowledging this award. While I'm deeply honored and humbled, it belongs to a lot of people. It belongs first and foremost, I believe, to my family, to my husband who co-founded this business with me, and at a time when nobody was talking about clean energy in North Carolina. It was shortly after 9/11. We were pregnant with our son, and we just wanted to make a small difference in the world. And so we came up with this crazy idea to start a solar company. And the journey has been unbelievable for us. I would not be standing here today if it weren't for his ability to put my crazy ideas into action. And so this whole idea about collaboration and about people having different roles, I think, is really important for us to consider how we're going to work together. And so again, that is one of the reasons it's so incredible to look out at all these faces here today and know that you are all working toward the same goal that I am. This is not always so where I'm from in North Carolina, where a few years ago they actually outlawed climate change, which was interesting for us. So I'm going to keep this really brief because I'm getting the 0 minutes marker coming up, and I do recognize we want to stay on time. But in addition, I want to acknowledge our team of past and present. Everybody who's ever worked at Southern Energy Management has made a contribution and a mark on our company. And I like to say that SCM is in a constant state of becoming. We've had to evolve our business several times in order to meet market demands and market forces, whatever was happening, policy impacts our business greatly. So I want to thank them. And lastly, I want to acknowledge my son, who I wouldn't be doing any of this if it weren't for him, and my mom, who taught me, she's an entrepreneur herself, who taught me that I could do anything that I wanted. And my greatest aspiration now is to help you and to help other women to get what they want from their businesses faster. So that's what Kingery & Company is all about. Stop by Table 6, and I look forward to meeting many of you. And again, thanks so much.